his shades on. Hold on. All right.
Yeah, his shades on.
We almost got him.
All right, we're live. We're good. He's good.
Like just in time. I saw the live and I was like,
quick, come on. It's like the Matrix.
Not today,
He's
baby.
good. He's good.
Not today.
Not today.
Can't catch Viper slipping up. Can't catch him slipping up.
Hopefully not.
Not today.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Okay, I gotta do some other things. Let me tweet this out. Let me unleash my beautiful Twitter.
Twitter. Okay, that's it.
Damn,
I messed up. Get it. Damn, still ain't.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
You felt it dropped, didn't it?
No, I was trying to open the SD card with my SIM card thing and the MP broke off. Go figure.
Oh,
Terrible.
that's right, baby. I told you. You said, you're like, does it have bass? I said, listen, let me explain to you about this bass, baby. If you want some bass, these are the headphones for you, son. And then not only that, I mean, you hit that bass up button and it kicks you in your teeth, and you're like, dang, how much were these again? They weren't that expensive. And Jana House. He's doing good, Bob. Thanks. I appreciate you. He's older until it's food time. Then he acts like he's a puppy. It's kind of funny. So tired.
We're always
a day. No, today was a day. Today was a day, man. Today was a day. I haven't told you. I'll tell you after it was a day. Have that bass up all the time, baby. Let's go. We're just getting Vipe set up appropriately.
I'm gonna get serious. Got to put out the big knives.
John is, I just hate to say it, he's no longer with us. So sorry, Nicholas.
What happened?
Nicholas says, how's John? I said, well, sorry to say he's no longer with us.
He's gone, baby. He's gone.
Wow. We'll address that in the show, 619. We'll address the no suit situation.
Yeah, Viper lives on his couch. We all know this.
I wore a shirt that had like green screen green. So look at this. I'm like half see through. I'm fading out of existence. I'm canceling myself.
You're getting snapped.
I'm getting Thanos snapped.
Dang, super chat already. GadgetCast with Viper for the win. Thanks, Thomas. We appreciate you.
Thomas. Oh my gosh.
Have you checked the email, Greg? Do we have anything we need to talk about on the email?
We got some song submissions. We're gonna have to go through all that stuff. So, you know.
Very nice. Very nice.
Jarl strikes again.
Oh yeah.
Presidential t-shirt. Yeah, we need that. Nicholas says what happened to Greg. Right here.
Exactly. That's what happened to Greg. You got Thanos snapped.
Did we enable the membership stuff? Like, is that ready to go?
No.
No.
It's not available yet because you have to do all three, and I didn't have time to do all three.
Travis dropped
you have ball. No, well, here's the thing. It wouldn't have been enabled yet anyway, because once you select so if you select the pre-selected perks, I think it might go automatically, but the minute you try to do something custom, like if you just go, this is just to support the channel, it has to go through a review, and that can take up to a day. So it wouldn't have been ready anyway. We would have to do this a couple days ago.
Next week, we will have memberships. We don't really know what we're going to do with memberships. If we're going to offer some exclusive stuff, I guess that's what Travis and I have talked behind the scenes. We just got it like not too long ago. It was very last minute, as you can tell. So yeah, we're working on stuff like that. I don't know. Is there any like cool perks we could do?
Well, I mean, we could do like a special like 30-minute GadgetCast every week where we just talk about stuff that doesn't go on the actual audio. Like we could just do like a once a week members only GadgetCast. We could do that. I I don't know that we need to do that. But
I already got some. We're working on some special emotes that you can use when you become a member. We have badges and stuff. Like we're sorting that out right now.
Yep.
As in terms of actual content for membership, it's something we didn't really think about because honestly, we're surprised we got the membership option. It's something that's pretty random on YouTube. But I think that's we can offer some pretty cool perks for members in GadgetCast. I'd be down with doing a members only show. Maybe we'll see.
I mean, I don't know. We just got to figure it out. And
if
when you make the promise,
yeah, if it's like one guy sitting there, if we just got Gabriel sitting there watching the members only show, I don't know. We might have to reconsider that. And Gabriel might be the only person watching the members only show.
Exactly. Don't know how to approach it. That's why I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm like, we're even big enough to have memberships. Like, it's cool for the emojis and stuff. I think that'll be fun. But beyond that, I'm like, I don't know. What is Viper doing, by the way?
All right, Viper's having problems.
Oh, Viper's having problems.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, so what's the problem? We'll walk you through it.
I tried to put the memory card into the Rodecaster Pro, and it went in there the wrong way. I put it in the wrong way. Now I can't get it out. So,
oh no!
Yeah, that's the end of that. I don't want to hold you guys up. So we're out
the super chat. Appreciate you, Ace. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, John.
Let's take it easy. Let's just do. I'll just put the other thing.
Okay. What do you want to do?
We'll just make it easy and just do.
All right. Normal record.
Easy, normal recording kind of thing.
I see.
It'll save me some time anyway.
All right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we can remove this and then get into it. Oh, yeah, we could do this.
All right, Vipe, you're good. Don't worry about it.
All right.
We'll take care of everything.
We'll fix it all.
You'll have enough frustration later trying to.
So we're going to go from the intro to, or we're going to immediately play some songs and then bring Viper in. Is that what we want to do?
All right.
Because we gotta address the song stuff first.
Yeah, we'll bring Viper in. Viper, we got some stuff to go through though. Like, we're gonna.
Yeah. Then when we get to the you'll be here for the news. We just need to get through some of the email stuff in first, and then we'll get to the news, and you'll be a part of all of that.
We just gotta do some follow up with some song submissions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play just one because I really liked it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's for my presidential address, which will happen today. I have breaking news on the presidential campaign. Don't worry, I see all the chats. I saw tons of chats going, why are you not in the suit? What's going on with the campaign? Don't worry, it will all be addressed momentarily.
504 in the place to be. Always holding it down for everybody. All right, let's do this then. Starting. Are you ready? Greg?
Now, do you want me to lead with the new music?
Yes, because we might as well. If you're not going to do a submission,
all right, I just gotta get into the right mindset for the.
you know when to come in. You're gonna mess it up, aren't you?
I kind of want to play it all the way to the end, but I know when to come in. Just let me see the labels. Let me see these labels.
Look at that. Okay. See all these super chats. All these people, they could have bought memberships for multiple people because
thank you guys.
I think our lowest super chat's gonna be like $1 or something.
Memberships, super chat, however you guys want to support the show. One podcast review summed it up perfectly for me. They said, I don't mind you guys plugging yourself all the time because you guys don't really have sponsors. And I was right. You know what? That's true. I listen to tons of podcasts and some of them be breaking into the sponsorship read like every 20 minutes. And there's like 4 sponsorships to go through. So you know what? I say the people are the sponsors of this show.
That's for sure.
And also any sponsors who want to sponsor us. You can
the actual sponsors that want to give us money are also sponsors of the show. All right. Okay, you ready?
All right. Without further ado, give me the good old count.
I guess I don't need to record on my side. I'm gonna do it anyway. No, I don't need to because even it's the same thing. You got a backup. Okay. Well, the backup is also on StreamYard, so we're already doubled up. You just go ahead. All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Christ on a stick. Are you? Stop it. All right, ready? In 3.
It doesn't matter.
What is wrong with you?
All right, shh. I need to.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. 3, 2, 1-0.
Hello, world, and welcome to the #1 podcast for space travel, the Gadget Cast. My name is Gregory McFadden, joined always by Travis MCP.
Space Cowboys. Oh, I keep thinking of Space Cowboys. It's space. What is it? Space what?
Space travel.
Space travel. Yes, that's for
That's,
anyone who listened to last week's show.
Yeah, that's a contribution from our, we gave him the week off because he did such a good job last week. We're like, you know what, Willie Do, you did such a great job. Just take the whole week off. We're going to have Viper fill in for you this time. Spoiler alert, Viper is on the show. But
yeah, way to jump the shark on this one, bud.
But we said to Willie, Willie Do take the week off. And already Willie Do has contributed to what I think, and I would love to see email feedback. I would love to see chat feedback. I would love to see feedback in Apple Podcast reviews, wherever you can leave your feedback. What did you think of that new intro song? I got to say, Travis and I wrote that song together. So it was a little special for us that we kind of both wrote that song.
So let me tell them the real story, Greg. Okay, here's the real story. First of all, that Greg did 90% of that song. So, I mean, listen, if you liked it, that was good. Now, I put the part that slaps a little bit, that little... Like that part, I'm like, it's missing something. And I put that in there, I produced it. And then later that night, I got obsessed with making music on my iPad using GarageBand. And I made like 5 songs. And I got like a SoundCloud now. It's ridiculous. But I think the song is great. It feels authentic. It feels good. So that's our new intro. But you know what? We did get more entries for people that like threw stuff our way for song stuff things.
Yeah. Yes, we still continue to get song entries. If you guys want to continue sending songs and stuff, I will play the ones that I like at this point. Because we're getting so many that I get to be selective now, to the point where I'm like, well, I get to pick the best submissions and stuff like that. But yeah, I really like that song. I think it's a good intro after the whole Epidemic Sounds fiasco. I think it's the official song in Gadget Cast, but we would love to hear your feedback on it. And yeah, now. I'm going to play the next song because I have a special presidential address, a special update on the campaign. Okay? Remember, I ran for president. And I had a mission in mind when I ran for president. And I got to say, Travis, as one of our former presidents once said, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Yes, indeed.
That never came back to bite anyone in the butt when they said that. But let me play you. This is a submission from, he sent in a lot of song submissions. He's pretty good at it. Sir Jarl. And he made this special intro, which he said was very fitting for the presidential Greg setting. And me and Travis fully agreed with him. So let's hear that before my presidential address. Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory McFadden, presidential candidate for these United States, has an important update on the status of his campaign. We did it! We did it! We started this campaign with one goal. One goal. And that was to stop Yeezy. Our whole campaign was centered around the fact that Kanye West got into the presidential race. And I stood here in front of all of you and I looked you straight in the eyes and I said that I was running for president and that I would beat Kanye West. And you know what? Kanye West, as of the making of this show, has officially dropped out of the presidential race, meaning mission accomplished. My duties fulfilled. I now feel comfortable saying that the threat has been eliminated. And now, because of that, I will be suspending my presidential campaign and, just letting the other two guys go at it, because I only got into this to stop Kanye. That was the biggest threat to democracy, and he's gone. So I'm suspending my campaign. Kanye West is defeated. Mission accomplished. GadgetCast, the most influential political podcast on the spectrum, I think, Travis.
Yeah, you on the spectrum, all right. Listen, congratulations, I guess. You did it. You said you would get the president to wear a mask. He wore a mask. You said you would stop.
True.
Stop Yeezy. You stopped Yeezy. I think it's a great time to stop. I mean, you're undefeated at this point. I'm kind of blown away.
I canceled Yeezy. Just putting that out there. I canceled Yeezy. It was me. I canceled Dr. Disrespect. It was me.
That's true.
Full credit. I people say, "Where's Dr. Disrespect?" He's canceled. Yeezy's gone. Dr. Disrespect's gone. And Trump wore a mask. So I think I accomplished everything I set out to do. So, I don't need to be president anymore. Now I can get back to making YouTube videos and podcasts, the important things in life.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that because I wasn't sure what the heck was going to happen if you actually won. So I'm really happy this is over now.
Yes.
Very happy about this.
If I have to step back in, if another threat arises on a Godzilla level scale, I will do it for the American people. But for now, I'm going to rest up a bit. I'm going to hibernate. I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to get even stronger. So the next time another threat comes out of somewhere, I will cancel them with so much devastating presidential power. You won't believe it.
I mean, I already don't believe it. It's really phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. You know who else thinks it's absolutely phenomenal and is wondering probably why the heck he's here? It's the man about tech. Viper is here. How you doing, Viper? Good to see you. Oh, we can't hear you, buddy.
Travis, how you doing?
We good. We good, baby. We good. Now look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Greg is this way. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it at this point. I've given it up. What do you think about his presidential campaign?
As a guy who's had Greg on my live streams many a times, I'm kind of perplexed when he announced his presidency for the sole purpose of disrupting Kanye West's presidency. But as a guy who set out very, very high goals, high bar, high expectation for himself to single-handedly stop Kanye West from assuming the Oval Office, and he got it done. I mean, we got to give a shout out to presidential candidate or President-elect Gregory McFadden because he got it done. Kanye bowed out. Greg is in the Oval Office. He is doing big things, and I can't wait to see more from President Gregory McFadden. That's right.
Amazing.
Thank you, Viper. I appreciate that. That was that was heartfelt, and I thank you. Viper, technically part of the campaign, so Viper, you deserve some credit as well.
Thank you.
So
right. This is a tech podcast, believe it or not. Yeah. This is a tech podcast, and we
never know it.
Tech stories to talk about. What a crazy week it's been. It feels like one of those weeks where it's been like a month. It's been a week since the last GadgetCast, and Twitter completely taken over. By some weird. Do we even know like the full story? It was like some like Bitcoin hackers who like all of a sudden had access to like every single account. Like I don't even think it was just the verified accounts. Like they technically had control of every single account. But they only managed to start tweeting from the verified ones, and they tweet out like this thing like, "Oh, give us some Bitcoin money and we'll double it." And they were tweeting out from like Bill Gates' account, Elon Musk. I think like Joe Biden got hit, Barack Obama got hit, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of, so here's the thing, and Bandrew said something in the chat, which I totally agree with. I think Roberto Blake talked about it as well. It's like, what if they could have gotten in? And I just read an article this morning about this, why they were not able to get into the president's account. Now, the president's account had been, and I'm using quotes, accidentally deleted a couple years ago. And because of that, they put some secondary measures in so that they would not have been able to get into it. Now, this is scary because one of the things that what they don't know is if those people got to read people's DMs. And it's something that Twitter had also admitted a while back that some employees have access to DMs. But the fact that especially America right now is we're being led by a person who likes to tweet a lot. I'll just leave it at that. So that his thoughts and feelings and everything on everything is on Twitter. And if someone takes that over and tweets something he didn't say, and then he says later he didn't say it, unfortunately, he says that sort of thing all the time, and we know otherwise. So we might just believe that he really meant to tweet something when it legitimately could have. It's just like the crying wolf thing. Literally could be someone could take over for him and we would not know it because we're like, well, anything can happen on that Twitter account. It's a scary proposition. Viper, what do you think about what happened this past week on Twitter?
You know, Twitter being one of, actually, if not the largest real-time media outlet in the world. I mean, when you think about top verified accounts being hacked, it is pretty scary. Because like you said, Travis, if somebody else is tweeting from the presidential Twitter account, nobody would know. If somebody is tweeting from Apple's account or Mr. Beast or anybody else's account, we don't know. I was kind of joking about this on my live stream last night, or I think on Friday night, about John Prosser and how he's been missing and things like that. Somebody else could be tweeting from John Prosser's account and we don't know it because maybe he's been hacked. So that kind of deep fake activity where it's hard to trust who's tweeting what when you don't know if they've been hacked or not, that does make this kind of dangerous to consider how easily this happened and how much access these hackers had after we realized what happened in the duration of this hack. So yeah, definitely some scary stuff going on, and we need to try to figure out a way to lock this down because I don't know, man, it's crazy.
Friend of the show, Renee Ritchie, seems to have all the information about what's going on. It was a person who found a few sim wrappers who sell OG accounts for him, waited for them to start doing it, and then started tweeting Bitcoin scams and downloaded DMs from 8 accounts. So he does have DMs from 8 accounts. Twitter employees had pinned the password to their Slack, and this hacker, in parentheses Kirk, got access to it. And Twitter won't say which 8 accounts were downloaded, but did say they weren't verified accounts, which is interesting. You think you target verified accounts, get some interesting dirt on them, and then blackmail them. Yeah, so I mean, you're just seeing here how just one momentary lapse of security can lead to something as catastrophic as this, as Twitter employees pinning a password to their Slack, which, by the way, I'm no security expert, but that's like the first rule of like security is like don't leave the sticky note on your computer. I assume leaving it pinned to your Slack is even that's even worse than the sticky note because anyone can see that.
Well,
exactly.
If they intended it to do it on purpose, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's the thing about all these security measures that we have in place. Everything that's built out there, everything that's been built, everything has been built by human beings, and there is no such thing as a perfect human being. So everything that we build, all these security measures, protocols, they will all have some flaws, some fallacies in them that can be exploited. And then when you consider the fact that some human being can be manipulated and corrupted, that makes it even more scary because on top of the innate flaws of human beings, you got corrupted human beings and politicians. And yeah, it's just like I said 2 years ago, privacy is an illusion on the internet. I mean, if you're on the internet, you should probably assume that you have no privacy because it doesn't exist.
Right. And there is a difference between not having privacy and just getting like your account taken over. And also, these accounts got their accounts taken over through no fault of their own. It wasn't like they had the weak link in the security, thing. It was just like master account Twitter. Like, here you go, access to any account you want, except I guess the president's account because they had that extra safeguard in there. The crazy thing to me about all of this, guys, is what a lame scam. What a lame thing to post on. You have access to all these prominent Twitter accounts, and you post a Bitcoin thing. You give me access to all those accounts, Travis. I'm going a little more. I got my eyes on the prize a little higher than that.
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, we need to get our politicians to stop tweeting so that it's not as powerful as that. So if it was a couple of celebrities, it's like, oh, that sucks. That's too bad. But when we have a lot of legit politicians giving their like honest opinions and what they're going to do about laws and stuff, then it becomes something that can be weaponized. And the problem with this is with the fact that this can be, so apparently easily hacked or whatever you want to call it. Mix that with the incredible amount of deep fake technology that is being created, and that whole scenario of deep fakes that people used to say, oh, it'll be scary when someone makes a video like that. What if that person tweets a video, like a verified video from a verified account, and it's a deep fake that you can't really tell, you have no reason to not believe it. Like, it's one thing to find a video that's deep faked on some random website. Like, that's kind of believable, but still. But if it gets tweeted directly from like a politician's Twitter account, you basically have removed any type of question that whether or not it's real. Viper, what do you think as far as this goes? Is this something you'd be concerned about?
I mean, yeah, I like I said earlier, I think you will be very concerned, especially like you said, if it's a deep fake thing, because deep fakes are very, very hard to detect, because the whole point and whole nature of deep faking someone or something is to make sure that it goes off without being detected. I don't know. I mean, but again, I go back to the point where if a hack is going to happen, it's going to happen regardless of how many security protocols are in place, because human beings are flawed. And no security system is going to be impenetrable enough to not be hacked when there's corruption involved, when there's money involved, when there's just the logical fallacy of human beings as a whole not being able to cover every loophole and vulnerability out there. I mean, we are always open and vulnerable to being hacked, no matter what the medium is. So I don't know. It's a hard thing to try to grasp, but yeah, Travis, a deep fake video on a verified Twitter account could cause all types of problems worldwide.
Yeah, I think this whole Twitter hack, for lack of a better term, I guess it was kind of, it really exposes like how much power Twitter just has as a platform. And is this even something like, Twitter, it's a company, they get to make their own decisions and stuff like that. But you see just how important Twitter is in our modern digital society. It's where most people, maybe not most people, actually, I probably shouldn't say that. Most people get their news from Facebook, I think, which is the wrong way to do it. But a lot of people get, verified information from Twitter. There's a lot of journalists on it. It's a platform that's very important in our society. And there's, you would be foolish to think that Congress did not take notice this week. And they're having a bunch of like high profile hearings coming up pretty soon about like platforms with like Facebook. I think Tim Cook's even going to be there.
Oh man.
And should a private company like Twitter, I mean, I know it's publicly traded. I mean, just, should they have this kind of power to influence society in this way? Or should that
Stop the podcast, because you just said, Greg, that Congress is having hearings. Greg, who is currently running Congress? Who runs Congress, Greg? Enlighten me.
Nancy
Kanye,
Pelosi.
right?
No, it's not Kanye. Greg, who runs Congress? Come on, Greg.
Nancy Pelosi.
The people that run Congress are usually older folk who aren't privy to how technology works in the current digital age. They have no clue how it works. They get people like Sundar Pichai and Tim Cook up on Congress, and they're asking questions about how does the iPhone connect to the internet? Can Google search this? Can Google search that? They have no clue about how technology works at a basic fundamental level, but yet we rely on these people to lead our whole entire country, which is run by technical systems they can't even fathom, Greg. Are we serious right now, Greg? Are we serious?
I'm just throwing the question out there. Is something as important like this, as Travis is making a good point. If they released a deep fake of Trump and he's like, you know what, it's time to go to war with this nation, in this age where people respond really quickly and stuff like that, could that start like nuclear Armageddon? I don't know.
Because they wouldn't have a clue, Greg. If there was a deep fake tweet sent from Trump's account, it would literally start a world war, because nobody in Congress or the government will question it, because they probably would think it's authentic. Whereas we who are tech savvy will at least have the critical thinking analysis to think, well, wait a minute, did he say that for real? And actually question it, but they wouldn't question it.
Yeah. But there could be some form of oversight. And again, there's never going to be a secure enough system, because even governments get hacked and stuff like that. But as Twitter holds increasing power, and not even Twitter, Facebook, all these other digital companies, they hold a lot of power, and there's really no competition up here. So what, maybe they deserve some sort of regulations. I don't know. I'm just throwing the questions out there. I don't know what I believe in. I kind of agree with you that most of the people in our government really don't have a clue.
No.
But is that still something you want to leave up to a private company when, they can technically decide whatever they want to do?
Yeah. And like I said, when you got corruption and money involved, you don't know what the private company's motives are. So now you got to worry about, is the private company being like coerced or are they being influenced by outside forces because maybe the outside forces have more money and more resources than the other people that are supposed to be in control? So it's a whole can of worms that we don't have time to go down. It's craziness.
I feel like there could be some sort of safeguard against this. And again, no safeguard would be 100% effective, right? But I feel like Twitter needs to look at this situation and go, okay, you know what?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, they tweeted out some like Bitcoin scam. Renee before was saying in the chat, I saw that maybe it was some kind of distraction, might be a theory, and maybe it was something more devious than that. But in a way, it's a bullet dodged, and it's a way to learn a lesson about it. And I would hope Twitter as a company realizes just how much damage this can cause, and I'm sure there's people at the company that do. But if they don't, that's when you have to have like bigger entities look at this and go, okay, there has to be some way to ensure that your employees don't leave a password, pinned to their Slack, and anyone can just walk in and get access to these accounts, which hold tremendous power. And you know what? We just live in such an age of disinformation. There's already so much disinformation out there. And even when people even when someone says something clearly, people lie and just go, no, they didn't say that. They said something else. So it's,
but you know what, Greg? Hopefully Twitter learns a lesson. But we need to talk about some more news that got dropped this week by our very own Travis MCP dropping bombs yesterday, man. Travis dropped a bomb, bro. We got to talk about
What I do.
Travis put out a video questioning everything that we know.
Before I move on to Travis, I do want to stay on this Twitter story for just one more beat. And that is to say, none of the verified accounts could tweet. And that morning, ironically, I sent out a tweet to Twitter going, when are you going to verify me? And then that's the day it happened. I was like, oh, never mind. I'm good. I'll stay in my not verified. That was like a tweet. I really liked the Morse code, bigger accounts were sending out. They were retweeting people trying to communicate. All the bad stuff aside, I thought that was a really fun time on Twitter, minus the ramifications of all these accounts. That was a little bit of fun on Twitter, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, watching them looking from the outside, that was kind of funny. Yeah.
It was a little funny.
But the funny thing is that ended up becoming like a storyline within itself. That was the primary storyline. People going, the have-nots versus the haves, and the verified versus the unverified. Now, for those of you listening who are not on Twitter and don't even know what we're talking about, let's really quick see if we can clear that up. So Twitter obviously is a place where you can freely share your thoughts and opinions. I'm sure you've heard of it. But the one thing you may not know is there's something called verified versus unverified. Those are check marks that are beside someone's name to basically verify that is actually their account. It's really meant for people that are either famous or politicians or whatever the case may be, to like Greg, but Greg is not verified, just so that someone can't make a fake account in order to then spew nonsense. Well, during this whole thing, they locked down, because it seemed like all the people that were being attacked were verified accounts. They locked all of those people, including people like John Prosser, out from being able to tweet from their Twitter accounts. And what ended up happening is there were a lot of memes going on Twitter from the people who are unverified, which is 95% of the platform, and kind of were like, this is what you get, and that sort of thing. So the larger thing that we just talked about was the more important thing that I'm glad we were able to talk about on GadgetCast. But it is interesting how it quickly devolved into, that's what you get for being the upper 1%. It was very interesting.
It was a very eat the rich kind of moment, and it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. As someone not in the 1%, I did chuckle a little bit, this is what you get being verified. How dare! But you know what? Now that it's all over, I would like to be verified, Twitter. So make it happen. Or who knows what I will do at this point, right, Travis? I don't know.
Anyway, know what you're gonna do.
What bombs you dropping, Travis? What do you?
I don't know. I make stuff up and then I put it online.
No, you didn't make anything up, man. You brought up some very, very good point about the Note 20 leak. Are they intentional? Is Sammy doing it on purpose? Very interesting.
I took some loose strings and tied them together. I mean, let me just be honest about this.
Don't be trying to be all coy now, Travis. This is your podcast, baby. Let it out.
I'm trying to make entertaining videos, and sometimes it's difficult. But so what Viper's talking about is I released a video this morning that talks about how the Note 20 leaks may or may not be intentional. And I don't even know what to believe anymore. I mean, I guess my especially after reading some of the comments that so many people agreed with me, I was like, oh, I actually didn't expect that. I thought a lot of people were going to say I'm crazy. So here's what I hung my hat on as far as that video goes. And again, very loose wires that I'm tying together here. Number one, I'm tying the fact that Jimmy Knows Promo, or Jimmy is Promo, who is a larger YouTuber who's been on YouTube for a long time, got access, hand access on a Galaxy Note 20. Now, here's the thing. When the Pixel 3s leaked a couple years ago to like those Russian people that made videos, there was a lot of, Prosser was talking about maybe they had been leaked on purpose, but even if they hadn't been, it was almost kind of believable because it's in like weird countries where that sort of thing could just happen. But we're talking about Jimmy is Promo, a good old American guy, has his hands on the device. This is the first time since the iPhone 4 that a phone is just straight up leaked, but the iPhone 4 was not leaked to a person. It was left in a bar and someone found it, right? It was, that was a complete mistake. This ended up in the hands of a YouTuber, which is just weird. Then I made mention that particular video that he made on it was really weirdly shot because it doesn't go with the form of his other videos. But again, I was like, in a vacuum, maybe he just wanted to do something special, just try to protect his source, and that makes sense. But within that same amount of time, the actual pictures from Samsung leaked. I'm like, bruh, come on. How are you going to leak? Because I've worked in a corporation before that released products. And to my knowledge, those product images don't go on at least that website anytime a month before they're gonna release the product, because just in case someone flips the wrong switch. You don't put product images that are of an unreleased product on a freaking website. You don't do that. You maybe email them, you Slack them, you do these other things. But they all of a sudden were leaked on Samsung's website. So I'm like, if you put those two things together, it's starting to look like Samsung might be, quote, leaking things to get some excitement. And look, it worked. Whether it was on accident or on purpose, it worked.
Would you believe me, Travis, if I told you that Samsung actually has a track record of doing this?
I would believe you, of course.
So earlier this year on Friday Night Vibe, I had Max Weinbach, probably the world's most accurate Samsung insider. And during that live stream, he had to cover the date of the Unpacked event that happened back in that was going on in March. I think it was like the end of February. He was on the live stream, and he had somehow through some website he had uncovered when Samsung was going to have their Unpacked event for the Galaxy S20. The very next day, Samsung actually came out and made it official. So Samsung actually has a record of kind of coming right behind an actual leak and then making it official or putting something official out there. But yeah, when Matt uncovered the actual leak on my live stream, man, he put it on Twitter during the live stream. The next day, Samsung sent out the official invite for that Unpacked event. So
yeah, but the difference there is the images are going to be used the next day. This is months. This is like a month. Over a month in advance, you're going to have images on your. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Now, having said all that, it's probably just a mistake. It's a dumb mistake. Someone should probably get fired for it, but it's probably a dumb mistake. But at this point, it's smarter. I saw someone left a comment that said this, which I totally agree with. It's smarter for companies to take control of the leak narrative. Apple is finding that out this year. It is much easier if you are, and I know for a fact some companies have purposefully leaked things. It's better to leak things and have control of the narrative than something get out that you don't want to get out. So I believe that if Samsung is not doing this, they should maybe consider doing it.
I think Samsung is and has been doing it for a while.
Maybe. Totally possible.
President Greg, what you got for us, man?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Wow. Okay. Well,
this is how Greg talks, by the way.
What?
This is actually how Greg talks. It's not that he doesn't have anything. This is the way he talks.
Yeah, I stutter a lot before I get into my thing. I like to make sounds and then just go into it. Samsung probably is leaking their stuff to their own, to some extent. They probably left the leaks pinned to their Slack, from what I can see. Can we put these up? Let's put these up. Listen, it's either maybe the company as a whole isn't doing it. Obviously, companies are huge entities. There's people inside the company that also want to control the narrative too. If you worked on this phone and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you see this guy, Jimmy is promo, has the phone. You're like, what? This guy has the phone? Oh man, we worked really hard at that. You know what? Let's try and take a little steam away from him. Let's just put these nice little images up of the note so everyone can see how cool it looks and all that stuff. But yeah, I believe Samsung might be controlling the leaks. And the thing I want them to leak though is the Fold 2. And
yes.
We're getting conflicting reports. Last week on GadgetCast, we reported no Fold 2 for this Unpacked event. But now I'm hearing, yes, Fold 2. Yes, Fold 2 will be announced. So I'm getting excited all over again. Because I think the Fold 2 is way more interesting than whatever this Note ends up being, which is, let's face it, it's going to be an S20 and an S20 Ultra with a stylus.
Greg is on the money. Greg is on the money. Like you said, I am not that excited for the Note 20 because I, like Greg, I feel like it's going to be an enhanced Note S20 Ultra. I mean, I don't care. I want the Fold 2. Now, like Greg was just saying, there have been some conflicting rumors about whether or not we will see the Fold 2 announced at Unpacked, but it's been recently leaked that, yes, we will indeed see the Fold 2 announced at Unpacked. So I'm excited again. Let's go.
I hope so.
It doesn't have to be, as the poets are saying, Fold 2 to be announced and then released later. That's fine. If you want to announce it and then release it like a month or two later, I'm cool with that. I just want to see the announcement and get my bank account in order so I can buy it. I need to know how big of a hit I'm taking here. So announce it. Give me the 2 month warning, Samsung. I'll actually appreciate it.
Right. You're right.
Let me beg for some super chats for for 2 months. Fold 2. But yeah, I'm super excited for the Fold 2. I again, we've talked about this so much on GadgetCast by now. Renders and stuff like that look good. I think Max Weinbach is saying high refresh rate obviously is coming to it. So it sounds like a souped up phone. The form factor looks good. My experience with the Z Flip, super positive, very durable as far as it being released and not breaking on you in 2 seconds. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting phone. And I'm also encouraged when Max called into your show on the Vipe line and he said Fold 2 pricing going to start around $1,700, $1,800, which I still don't believe. I'm no way. That thing's going to be $2,500 this time. It looks too good.
Well, let's hope he's right. But the other thing that we haven't really talked about is that we need for our boy Travis to have his Fold moment because he was robbed last year. He was robbed. We need Travis to have his Fold moment.
Well, so I still might have my Fold moment as an Amazon renewed thing, but for sure the 2 is happening. I mean, I will definitely pass the Note up if the Fold is legitimately going to be announced. As someone who's had the Fold since had the Note since the Note 2 and consider myself a longtime Note fan, the last one really bored me. And the one before it kind of bored me too. It's not a bad phone. It just bored me. And I actually was I had been so overwhelmed by the OnePlus 7 Pro. I was like, wow, this came out of nowhere and it's awesome, hype, it's fast, it's great. That when the Note came around, it was just more of the same. I was kind of like, I mean, yeah, it's still maybe the best phone Android side out there, but it just, it wasn't different enough. The Fold is different enough. I'm hyped for that.
Travis out here shot fired on the podcast. I've been firing shots out there. Woo!
That's right. I'm just being honest. I'm keeping it 1,000, baby. Keeping it 1,000. You know how we do it here.
Fold 2 looks pretty cool and all, but what do you think about those beans, Travis? You into that?
What is going on? Now, I know some people are not going to know what we're talking about. Let's talk about these apparent. And can someone help me out? Why do they have such clear pictures of it? Have they been announced or they leaked again?
They leaked, man.
Everything.
This is ridiculous. How can you leak something so clear? That looked like marketing. Here, this is our new earphones. What are you talking about? The leak? That ain't a leak.
That's a leak, man.
That is a most bogus leak I've ever heard of my life. Anyway, for people who don't know, the new version of the Galaxy pods or pads, whatever the heck they're called, are coming at Buds, are coming out, and they look like little lima or pinto beans or something. I'm assuming because they fit the shape of your ear better, but they look weird. But allegedly, they're going to be really awesome, with active noise cancellation and a bunch of other stuff. I just haven't really caught up on. I haven't really paid attention, but only thing I've seen is just the images are so clear and clean, the video so clear and clean. I'm like, this is not a leak. This is them showing it off, right? What do you mean it's not? This is not a leak. It can't. I mean, it can't be a leak. It's ridiculous.
So apparently they are going to be called the Galaxy Buds Live, whatever that means.
I don't know
Great
what that
name,
means.
Samsung. You're really knocking out the park with these names. They have the Galaxy Buds 5. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What do you think of the beans, Viper? Are you a fan of the bean design, or
You know, when I first thought of Bean, I'm like, what in the Blue Monkey nipple is this? But as I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? It's actually kind of ingenious because, like Travis was saying, they're literally shaped to fit directly into your inner ear.
Yeah.
So if they, I mean, obviously they won't feel like that for everybody because we all have different ear modes and shapes and things like that. But if they are designed in such a way where they can have a tight fit and provide a tight seal in your ear, they could be good.
Yeah, you know, I've seen people dunking on these beans all over Twitter and stuff like that. But I'm kind of with you guys. Like I kind of like the beans. I feel like the design, if it's gonna do something that enhances the overall sound quality, I'm all for it. I think like the Samsung buds and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of earbuds that look like that anyway. So if you can have a distinct look and they actually like make the sound better, I'm all for it. Give me the Samsung Sensu beans. I'll buy a pair if they're that good.
The Sensu beans, that's a good one.
Sensu beans.
And the other thing is, with me being the captain of Team Apple, I own the AirPods Pro and the Galaxy Buds Plus, and they are actually on par with each other, much to my shock. The Buds Plus sound just like the AirPods Pro. I mean, they sound almost alike. So if Samsung can make any type of enhancements on the Galaxy Buds Live, they might actually end up being better than the AirPods Pro, which is that's next up for Samsung. So we got to see what happens.
I just want to say, get me the beans, and just like pop my beans into my ears, and then yeah, you know, I'm gonna wait for El Jefe to review the beans, and
Pretty much that's what I'm waiting for. Yeah,
you might be waiting a while because that'll help me kind of backlog there.
Well, I think he'll put the beans up, you know, up higher.
That's a request from President McFadden, El Jefe. He wants you to prioritize the beans.
He needs like a good slogan at the end of like his Galaxy Beans review, like.
Galaxy Beans. Galaxy Beans review.
Beans.
Ridiculous.
Listen, I want to talk about something besides Samsung. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk about Samsung a lot on the show, actually, which is fine. They have an event coming up.
I mean, it is your show.
Well, it's half a show. You know, me and Travis kind of own it, and you know, sometimes we fight over it, and
we don't really never fought over it, but okay.
I'm trying to build suspense, Travis. Gadget beans, I like that. Listen, there was a lot of cameras announced recently. Now I know maybe Travis isn't like the biggest camera guy. You just ordered like a lens though, Travis. Maybe you're coming on the camera team. But I gotta say, as someone who likes to think they're good at camera stuff, which you know I'm not. There's been some impressive cameras, and we have a big Sony one at the end of the month that I'm a little more interested in. The A7 AS7 III, right? Yeah, Sony aiming. But what? Blackmagic announced a 12K camera. Canon just came out with 8K cameras. The ES R5 is the 8K, and then the R6 is like the 4K one.
Yep.
So it's an exciting time for cameras. Like that Blackmagic 12K video camera. I almost can't believe like is an expensive camera. It's $1,000 camera, but at the same time, it's a 12K camera. That's only $10,000, which sounds crazy to say, right? It's only $10,000, but that's pretty inexpensive in the higher end camera world. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, 8K. Everyone's talking about 8K with this Canon thing. All of a sudden, you have this camera company come out and just go, yeah, we're just gonna do 12K, and it's like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, that and when you get into high end video production, you don't realize. Well, Blackmagic, their products have been really well priced for a long time. Their Pocket for BMKK is ridiculously priced. You get great quality out of it. It does have some limitations, but the quality out of it is great, and it has been for a long time, and it's not expensive for what it is. So there are a lot of people are kind of talking about 12K and like, you know, is it worth? Do you have to have 12K? I mean, it is like the first kind of prosumer camera at 12. I mean, it's crazy. Like, who's thinking about that? People are just now thinking about 8K. Like, who's thinking about 12K? I don't know, but I think that. And the other problem with whenever I see something like this, someone who jumps way ahead of everything. So I don't know if you guys remember this. I believe it was either, and anyone in the chat wants to correct me, it's either the Note 4 maybe even 3, but I think at least the Note 4 had 4K video shooting. You could shoot like 4K. It was a long time ago. Like it's surprisingly how long ago it was. By the time 4K video made sense to shoot it on a Note doesn't make sense even today, because the quality isn't what a 4K of any phone today could put out, regardless of the resolution. So whenever I see a piece of hardware go way above and beyond what's the norm, I celebrate it by saying that's cool, keep pushing the envelope. But I know that by the time you're using that sort of production, you're not using that product, because it doesn't get any of the benefits of everything that will be better between now and then for 12K. So in my mind, it's a non thing. It doesn't matter. It's not it does 12K, but for me, I would laugh at most people shooting in 12K, not because, oh, you gotta think about future proofing or anything like that. It's just that by the time 12K is a thing, other than a demo reel thing, that will not be the camera you'll use.
So to further Travis's point here, I was watching Taylor Tech video about this today, and like he said, currently there is no screen on Earth that can play 12K resolution. So you can just kill that. But I guess a good use of it is to, like, when you have to, if you're shooting 12K per se, if you like downsample whatever to 4K, whatever, then your 4K is going to be looking immaculate because you're shot in 12K with downsample to 4K. Yeah. And kind of like the camera that I'm using right now, the Sony A7 III. It shoots in 6K, but it downsamples to 4K. So the 4K looks a lot better. I think you can crop in and not lose any detail and things like that. So the downsampling will be amazing on that camera. But again, nobody is going to be able to take advantage of 12K as far as actually outputting that actual resolution, because nothing on Earth exists that can actually handle that resolution, not to mention all that data information that has to go through to even reach 12K.
The crazy thing is my computer, and it's not an old computer at all. I had it built last year. I can't really run 4K 60 on YouTube. Like it's slow. It hustles. And this is a powerful computer. To play back 4K 60, it's like, okay, look, bro, settle down. You didn't pay that much money for me. So listen, do it, push the envelope. You should do that. Do that thing, do it. But I'm not like, oh my God, 12K, it's a new thing. I got to do thing. No, that's not what's happening.
The other thing that I think is pretty amazing is that about maybe 6-7 years ago, cell phone kind of destroyed the camera industry. Nobody cared about DSLR. Nobody cared about mirrorless, because you know what they say, the best camera is the ones you have on your person. And what do we have always on our person? The cell phone. So I think most of us were using cell phone maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago for all of our camera needs. So the camera industry was pretty much dead and dying. But I think us as creators, the creative collective, kind of revitalized the camera industry, because now you got everybody and their mama starting a YouTube channel. Then you got these other creators that have been in the game for so long, upgrading their camera gear, like Marquez and Jonathan. Hell, even I got a Sony A7 III. So with the large amount of creators that are coming onto the platform and coming onto the other platform, wanting to have the pretty good camera gear, we have almost single-handedly revitalized the camera industry with all these different cameras. And now all these companies are competing to get our dollars, because you got Sony, Canon, Nikon, Fuji. Everybody competing to get our eyes and our money, because the creative industry is we're using all the cameras, man, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say like revitalized or resurrected like the camera industry, because I feel like it's just an industry in decline. And I think we see cameras like this now because of what you said, Viper. There's creators now, and that's kind of their market, is targeting people like us, rather than I don't think anyone's I don't think many parents are out there looking at DSLRs when they want to take pictures of their kids. They're going like, well, my phone's good enough and I always have that on me. They're more likely to upgrade their phone to get the better camera every year, rather than actually just going out and buying a big camera, which would probably get them better pictures in the long run. But it's definitely going more towards us, like these creators. There's more creators than ever. There's more YouTubers than ever. There's more people trying to get on even new platforms like TikTok, even though that's mostly just cell phone footage now. There's always that infancy stage where people accept like lower quality, but someone's eventually going to raise the bar on even TikTok. And then people might be like, well, I actually need a DSLR that actually shoots in a vertical video mode, and then it can get some really sharp resolution. That's going to make my video stand out even more on the platform. For this 12K Black Magic camera, though, I think it speaks perfectly to this market. This is definitely not targeted at someone making a Hollywood movie. this is kind of targeted at people like us who are like, you know what, I kind of want to step up my game here. And the 12K stuff, it kind of sounds like, oh, you don't need that. Like, you're right, Travis. Nothing can play like 12K, right? Like, it's just not happening here.
Mhm.
But don't forget how much you can crop in on an image with 12K. You can zoom in pretty far and do some nice digital zooming. And that's a technique I use on my videos a lot. I'm not making like the greatest videos, but again, I use a 4K. I use the A7 III, like Viper said. We get the 6K, right? And it downsamples. And you can crop in a pretty nice distance and still preserve quality. But I would love the ability to crop in even more. Because there's times where like, there's times where you have to like bust out like a macro lens to get like a really nice detailed shot of something up close. I'm guessing with a good enough lens and 12K video, you could just crop in and get some pretty nice pristine results, which would be pretty cool. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I say MKBHD shoots an 8K. If I get this, I just beat him to 12K, and I think that's
Time out, Greg. So you just said that you feel like the camera industry, even right now, is in decline. You really think the camera industry is in decline right now?
Even the everyday dad believes that, which is one of the reasons he pivoted. He actually talked about that on our podcast. He thinks it's one of
I think at cell phones, I mean, you look at what cell phones are capable now of taking pictures and video. I look at some of this iPhone 11 video and I compare it against like the ZV-1. I was doing like test footage comparing it. Man, it's close. The ZV-1 obviously has a little bit more depth of field and stuff like that. You can play around with the image a bit more, but the colors that just come out of the iPhone, the dynamic range in that cell phone camera, it's outstanding. It does great video. I mean, the ZV-1 can't do 4K 60 frames per second. The iPhone 11 can, right? Cell phones are taking over this industry. What's our number one advice to anyone looking to start a YouTube channel? Yeah, use your phone. It's good enough. Most people aren't even going to notice. I think the camera industry is in decline. I think it's moving over more to a niche-oriented industry. I think a lot of these recent products kind of showcase that. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens to plenty of industries. But the idea of the average consumer going out to buy a dedicated still picture camera or video camera, it's like a thing of the past at this point.
Yeah. And, at the end of the day, if these phones, well, again, I've been using the iPhone 11 Pro Max as my B-roll camera for the last couple of months now, and have never had one person say that it looked weird or bad or anything like that, or even out of context with my other shots. So I don't know. It does such a great job, and smartphone cameras are just getting better that most people are going to be like, why do I need to go buy a camera? Because who's going to want to carry that around separate from their phone? They're always carrying their phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just and again, phones have so much processing power now that half of the image is done by the processor. It's not even about like the lens and stuff anymore. So it's always going to have that ahead of most little point and shoots and stuff. And if I'm one of those companies, you got to really go to content creation, because that's about the only thing that's really left.
Listen, Travis, nobody's going to question that you are doing B-roll when you do B-roll, because anytime you do B-roll, Travis, it's a national holiday. So nobody's going to question when Travis is doing B-roll. Nobody's going to question that.
Well, they're going to wonder what the heck's going on. What's going on? What's going on?
I saw in your S10e review there was some B-roll. I'm like, what's going on here? Travis is breaking format. I don't know.
It's because it's when I do product review stuff, I got to all that is all the shots are and it has to be because
it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I'm not saying camera industry is like going to disappear tomorrow or ever. There's always going to be a need, I think, for some sort of high-end cameras. I just think it gets more expensive. It gets a little bit more niched. I think, again, we're seeing specialized video cameras being released targeting us, right? Like, again, Hollywood can spend $50,000 on a camera and not blink an eye. They got to, they're spending tons of money on that. But this 12K camera, I think, is targeted at people like us making YouTube stuff. People, maybe like the Jonathan Morrison type, they need a good camera for $10,000. I think they're instantly looking at something like this and going, maybe that might work for my production workflow, because we're also in this weird, it's a great time to be a content creator. It's a great time to be into anything. If it's watching YouTube videos, TikToks, or even all these streaming services we have on now, people are making lower and lower budget stuff that competes with studios that can outspend them 3,000 to 1, right? And people are able to compete because of a lot of these nice cameras and stuff like that. You can make some really nice stuff on a pretty shoestring budget at this point. It's really inspiring, actually. Now, I do want to say this before I miss my point. Another thing to look at the camera decline. It's a good way to compare it is to laptops and desktops. There's less laptops, and the PC industry is kind of in decline. No one's saying that PCs are ever going to go away fully, but every year less people need a desktop because they're like, well, my phone's good enough, so I don't need to go out and buy the expensive desktop anymore.
Yeah. Well, before we start completely wrapping this up, let's real quick talk a little bit to Viper, just about what he's been doing on his podcast and his main channel. Really, if you have not seen Viper's stuff before, there will be a link in the description when I remember to do it after this podcast, and of course in the show notes below. But more importantly, like if you're into Apple, you go to his main site. But if you're into anything else, if you just want to hear some really incredible creators talk about things they don't normally talk about, you got to go to his podcast, which has really done some amazing things in the last year and a half. You've had people on your podcast that have either not been on other podcasts very often or sometimes not at all. And then in some cases, very definitively, you, perhaps more than anyone, have been told so many times, oh, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to be too small. You're not going to be able to get these people. Yet you've had some of the biggest creators on the platform on your podcast. Talk a little bit about how you've done that, what the journey has been like, and if you have advice for someone who's just starting out and going, I want to be able to do this thing, but people are telling me I can't do it. You've literally been through it.
So before I ever became a creator on YouTube, I watched YouTube for probably over a decade. So I've been watching Marquez, I've been watching Justine, I've been watching Austin, I've been watching Flawless, I've been watching these people for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So I was always in their comment sections or in their live stream community. So they knew of me. I mean, obviously they didn't know who I was, but they knew of me. So when I became a creator 3 years ago, and I started, like you said, I started the podcast and live streaming like about almost 2 years ago, reaching out wasn't really that big of a deal to me because I'm like, all right, if I reach out to such and such, at least when they see Viper, they don't know that that's somebody that's been in their community before. I'm not just some random Joe Schmo trying to get them to be on a podcast. The other thing, which is what I tell anybody that's trying to collaborate with any other creator, is if you reach out to a bigger creator, you better have a body of work. You better have a resume because they're going to vet you. And what I mean by that, for those of y'all that might not be familiar with the lingo, is when Viper reaches out to an iJustine is not going to be like, oh, Viper, yes, I'll be on your podcast, your channel. No. What iJustine is going to do is she's going to click on my name, go to my YouTube channel, and check out my content. She's going to make sure that I'm above board. She followed me on Twitter for like 2 months before she even replied to me in a DM. So she was watching me. She watched the content. She followed me on Twitter for a while. And then one day out of the blue, she decided to respond to my Twitter DM. And then obviously we got together and we had her on the podcast. But again, people aren't just going to work with you just because they're in charity and they're like, oh my God, they're going to work with you. No, they want to know that you are serious because as all of us on the panel know, we have been doing this a long enough time that we take what we do very seriously. And most of these bigger creators that have been doing it for longer than us, they take it even more seriously because this is their livelihood, this is their lifeline. So when you reach out to work with other people like that, they are going to want to know that you are serious, that you are about that business. So there's no, I mean, I'm really tired of hearing about this whole taboo about smaller creators reaching out to bigger creators. That's not the thing. The thing is, if you're reaching out, have some value to offer the bigger creator. I mean, what can you offer them? Now, obviously, me talking to Justine, I couldn't really offer her much, but it did open her up to some people that she never seen before, who have never seen her content before. I mean, because you'll be surprised how many times, like, when bigger creators are on my podcast and some people are in the chat like, oh, I mean, I hadn't watched that person in a while. They're pretty down to earth. Or, oh, I didn't know about this person. Let me go check out their content. So even me being as small as I am, I can still offer value to bigger creators because I can open them up to new audiences that they had not been opened up to before. So, but it's all about having that body of work and being about that business to the point where they will take you seriously enough to even consider working with you. So you can reach out if you're a small creator. Just make sure you have a body of work. Just make sure you can provide value. And don't be a creep about it. I mean, it took me a long time to nail down Justine. 2 years. Took me a long time to nail down Marquez. Took me a long time to nail down Sarah Dici, Jacqueline. I mean, this stuff takes time. You got to be patient. You got to understand that these people are busy AF, and they're not going to be able to respond to you immediately. But if you're patient and you just keep at it, it can happen.
Yeah. And it's something that's important. And by the way, I recently started, I'm doing a contest this week for small tech creators, I don't even like to call them that, tech creators under 2,000 subscribers, where I'm doing like a giveaway and stuff. And I'm super excited about doing it. And it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I want to do more in the future. And it's mainly because of what Viper just talked about, because I remember, you know, when I was first starting out, just reading forums, trying to understand how YouTube works and everything. And I remember reading like a couple posts about collabs, and that larger creators will never collab with you and stuff until you're like big. And, you know, before I hit 10,000 subscribers, I had collabs with like Jonathan Morrison and Michael Fisher and like all these people. And Viper is the same exact way. He is literally like gone out and got the biggest names on the platform to come sit down and talk. And it just proves the point, man. Like, as long as you're bringing value, the rest just kind of makes it just kind of works, man. So yeah, you gave a lot of good advice there. Don't be a creep, don't be crazy, just you bring value. And I think I totally agree with all of that.
Yeah, I see a lot of people like thinking like, oh, because I uploaded one video, I instantly get access to this community. I'm also a tech creator just like you. And we're all in this together. But, you know, you have to put in the work. You can't, you know, put yourself in the other person's situation, right? Imagine how many people come across me, Travis, even Viper, I'm sure, and have like just tons of requests for them like all the time. And you have to think like at a certain point, you can't just let everyone onto your show. It would be chaos, right? If everyone's like, oh, Greg, let me on your show. I love tech too. It's like, well, it could be chaos because then I got to let this person on. Then I got to let that person on. Then I got to let this person on. So as long as you do the work, your content it'll elevate up. People will see that you're putting in the work and they'll want to talk to you, you know? Don't be like, oh, talk to me, give me like this time. If you put in the work, people will want to talk to you. And it's a cool thing when that happens, right? I think we've all experienced that at this point.
Awesome.
Yeah. Viper, let me ask you though. You've had a lot of high profile guests on, a lot more than GadgetCast. I'm just be honest. Viper, you know, he is the ultimate guest. You know, I should probably just throw Viper a few dollars at the end of the show and be like, he got me this person, he got me that person, give me that person. But Viper, who is the one guest that you want to talk to more than anyone else? And it can be anyone in the world. You don't have to, you know, be a YouTuber. Who is the one guest you want to see on a Vipe Drive?
I was just asked this recently. One person that I want to get on the podcast that I have not been able to get on the podcast yet will be Flossie Carter. Like, yeah. I mean, I've had him on the live stream before, but that was like that was literally 2 years ago. So, and I think more recently I was on his live stream earlier this year. But I would love to have like a one-on-one like podcast type chat with him because I've never been able to do that. So that would be pretty cool.
There you go.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know, we did the iJustine campaign. We got iJustine. We might have to enable the Flossie campaign. You know, you know, don't mess with Floss because I'm not responsible for anything that happens.
So, before we wrap it up, though, can we talk about something else, though?
All right, Viper, pick up the top. What's the topic you want to talk about?
We got to talk about PS5 and Xbox Series X, man. I mean, I know I'm inside. I know Greg is inside. I haven't really heard too much from Travis about this. Travis, are you looking forward to any of these consoles? Or you're just like, I don't care.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I personally, I like gaming and stuff, and I enjoy it. I'm more of an Xbox guy, but I've always owned both platforms, pretty much since the beginning. But the amount of time and stuff that I'm able to even put into gaming is so low that it's hard to even guess that I will upgrade. Maybe. I mean, maybe not. But the reality is, like, I'm playing so few games, even though I love them, other than my arcades, that it doesn't make financial sense. But you know what I want to do is that when I get my main channel to 100,000 and I start my other channel, whatever, I do want to have like a Twitch channel thing going on. So I would probably, and I do have Twitch, by the way, if anyone wants to go, it's Travis MCP, but
you don't have Mixer anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. I was on Mixer, but I ain't got no Mixer no more. So definitely come on through. I did do a couple of Twitch streams the other day. People seem to like those. So at some point I will. And if at that point I'm like, okay, it's time to get into it, we'll make the determination then. But at the moment, it's cool to see both. with kick-ass machines, and I'm super excited to see what ends up happening. I know Greg is a PS5 guy though.
Whoa, Travis, whoa. Through all of that, Travis, I heard something about you starting a second channel. What's that about?
Oh, that's gonna happen, but not until I'm over 100,000.
No, don't just gloss over that, Travis. What is the second channel about? What are you talking about, Travis? What's going on, man?
I don't know yet, but it's not gonna be tech. It's not gonna be tech at all. It's a completely different direction.
I think Onimaru in the chat might have the winning idea. There's got to be a GadgetCast game stream one day. I feel like I got to.
Oh, we can stream on here
in a context.
I think we should. We 100% sure, and we can do that. We can do that here on YouTube. Absolutely, 100%.
We might throw something up. We should do something with that. You know what, Onimaru, that's a great idea. I like that idea. Yeah. Listen, PS5 is the only console you got to get, digital or physical. I won't judge you on which one you get. Don't get the Xbox. What is it called? The Series X? I don't know.
Hey, settle down.
Hey, Microsoft. All you need to know about Microsoft is they discontinued the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S just before the Series X. You can't buy one anymore.
That is really terrible. I love my Xbox.
How Microsoft thinks of you and how they support their consoles in the long run. Okay, so
it's ridiculous.
I'm saying Sony all the way. The design looks cool, and you know what? I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now. Viper has actually watched me play on Twitch. We're all playing our Twitch channels now. Viper, you need to go on Twitch. And it's a pretty fun game, so I'm just gonna say Sony wins. Okay.
When I get that PS5, I will definitely have to pick that up backward compatible, baby. That looks
if we all get a PS5, I just say we can all play together.
Oh, right? Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, fun, right, Travis?
We're gonna have all types of fun, and we'll stream it here on the YouTube channel, of course.
Listen, I think this was a good show. I do want to bring him in though. I do want to bring him in. I just can't resist the temptation. Willie Do, I think it was a great show. I don't even think we need you anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of assumptions there.
Yeah, there are a lot of assumptions there. But are you going to be on next week and join us again, Willie Do?
Oh yeah.
You're here to stay. What do you think was the most interesting story of the day?
Usually the most interesting is science stories.
All right. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you next week, Willie Do.
Yeah.
Okay. So funny story about that. I remember when Greg was telling me about how he had to comb through hours of content to try to get sound clips for Willie Do, and he couldn't find anything.
No, what's clips? Willie Do's here.
So I was watching the recent clip. I think Lou and Willie were talking about they were talking about something, and Greg is absolutely right. Willie Do doesn't get much out of all. Lou doesn't hardly love talking when he does talk like 1 or 2 words, and that's it. Like that just kind of blows my mind.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why.
Yeah. Lou, if you listen to your boy Vibe, you need to let Willie Do talk. Let him express himself.
Well, that's why Willie Do's on this show. We give him full expression here on GadgetCast, right? Willie Do, we give you everything you've ever wanted.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Willie Do. We appreciate Viper for joining us. Of course, you can check him out. We'll have links to all of his stuff in the show notes if you're listening to audio. And of course, leave us some of those amazing, really cool, amazing reviews on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you can leave reviews. Thank you very much. Maybe even on Yelp. Why not? Just cuz. But listen, this has been it. He's Viper. I'm Greg. I did it again. See you next week.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Liftoff. Nice to be in orbit.
Space travel.
Thanks, Willie Do.
Thank you. That wasn't a soundboard. That's part of the intro.
Wow.
He's super excited about that.
Woo! I love Willie Do. I think we got good feedback on Willie Do. I like having Willie Do.
How do you get too good? Didn't he already have a copyright strike? Then he got another one? How is that even possible?
I think he got one on Twitch.
Yeah, he got one on Twitch a long time, like a couple of weeks ago. Did he get another one?
Yeah, I can't believe you called your. I don't think so.
I don't know. I think he just put out a video on his Taylor to Talk channel talking about another copyright strike. So maybe he did. I don't know.
Another one? Oof.
Bruh.
Ugh, you got to watch out, guys.
Apple is no joke, man.
I mean, like, I did it one time. Well, one time I tried to live react to an Apple event and they copyright claimed me from music. I'm like, all right, I'm done after this. Never again.
Yeah, I did one in my early days. I used a lot of their footage to recap a WWDC. I think that video got like 86 views. It's still on the channel. And Apple just like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never using your footage again. I'll stick to the pictures and zooming in and out.
Well, it's crazy because I did the on the iPhone 7 renewed. I took like an entire section of the. Now, of course, that's an old presentation, but you would figure it would be in there regardless. I don't know. Regardless, I'm afraid of Apple. I can't.
They are very, very stringent about what they allow you stuff. They will come after you for any and everything.
Are we gonna let people on talk to us a little bit on the aftercast? What do you think?
I personally don't have a whole bunch of energy, but there's reasons for that I need to talk to you about. But if there's someone that needs something
Nicholas
that has,
he wants to come on, and then he said hashtag cancel Drew. So I feel like Nicholas deserves a spot on. You know, he's canceling the competition. That's always good.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me get this. Go ahead.
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I don't say. You know what? I got punked earlier this week. I don't like getting punked, man. I got punked because I thought that. Whoa. I know we're on Facebook. We're on Facebook and Twitch.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere, man.
Ah, interesting. So I got punked earlier this week because somebody put out a rumor about how PlayStation 5 pre-orders were about to go live. And it didn't happen. So I felt personally attacked, baby. And then we just had an interview with a Sony exec who said that, no, we're going to let you know ahead of time when they go live. So that's cool. But I'm going to need Sony to hurry up because, like I think Greg or Travis was saying earlier, we need time to stack these dollar bills, man. I need Sony to stop playing games. We got way too much stuff happening at the latter half of the year for Sony to be playing around, man. You got direct competition from the Xbox Series X. And then if we go outside of the console space, you got Samsung bringing the heat. You got iPhone bringing the heat. Hell, even Google is coming out with something at some point. So Sony needs to stop playing games, let these pre-orders go live so I can be ready to rock and roll.
We got a lot of questions about John. Real quick, let's just clarify some things. I saw that Brian tweeted that FPT is back tomorrow. I don't know if that's true or not. We know, Greg and I know a little bit about Processor, but we don't necessarily know when he's coming back. But he's fine. He's fine. Okay, hold on. Nicholas is here. What's going on, buddy?
Hello. Did you all see that Unbox Therapy that released a giveaway thing for the OnePlus Nord that hasn't been released yet?
No.
Yeah, I think he put up a video today about that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. What does that tell you about leaks and him?
Are they in the back of his truck or?
I mean,
there was 8 phones. There was like 1 for him. Then there was 8 more that like he was giving away or however.
Well, that's not a leak because it's already been announced on Marquez's channel. Like what, early this week I think that was. Or last.
I didn't see that it was officially announced.
Yeah, had Marquez had Carl Pye on his channel talking about the OnePlus Nord. That was official. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to catch that. But no, I hadn't watched the video yet since I was watching your guys's. But Drew, yes, on Tailosive Network, he did get another copyright strike. I seen the video pop up.
That's insane.
I'm thinking about starting my own YouTube channel, but I'm looking at other platforms since all of this hacking and stuff seems to keep going on.
Yeah, it's pretty scary out there, but I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If it's something you're passionate about, go out there. Don't let anyone tell you can't do it. I mean, I think the 3 of us are proof positive that we've had successes in different ways. Greg's still looking for his first success, but besides that, all 3 of us have had different successes in different ways, and we know you can do it too, Nicholas. And the fact that you are a fan of GadgetCast means that you are a smart individual, and we know you're going to do well.
Yeah, man.
Thanks. Bye.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Nicholas.
That's Nicholas. He always comes by. We appreciate him.
Oh, I like Nicholas a lot. He's really cool.
He's a smart guy.
He's the spirit of GadgetCast. He's always in the chat canceling everyone. I really like Nicholas.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Nicholas is like, he's canceling me, he's canceling me, he's canceling Travis, canceling Drew. Nicholas gets the spirit of the show like a lot.
Yeah, he does.
He gets
he does.
Yeah, but the OnePlus Nord is actually was official. Like I said, Marquez had the CEO of OnePlus on his YouTube channel a week ago, where they announced the phone. They pretty much just put it out there. So there's no more leaks about that. I think it's official.
All right. Well, cool. I hope everyone enjoyed this. As far as like the gaming and stuff, I'm totally up for that. So Greg and I will have a talk about when that could be. Next week we'll have memberships, and I don't know, we'll do something with that. And 619, come on in, buddy. Oh wait, and plus Renee has every delivery if he keeps canceling everything. Well, Greg can't cancel anything. I told you he can't cancel a pizza. I mean, yeah, go ahead. Come on out 619.
I would never cancel a pizza. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I would never.
Yeah.
I want it. I'm not gonna cancel the pizza, even if it's Domino's. I still want it. I still want it.
So while we wait for 619, I have a question for Greg. Because I'm guessing this is you. How did you come up with the name Gadget Cast for the podcast?
Well, we both were trying to figure out a name.
Yeah.
And we threw a bunch of names out, and Greg gave me the Whip Wop, and it's mostly his name in it, obviously, and like none of mine at all. And I didn't really pay attention to that until the first time I almost said Greg's Gadgets for the Gadget Cat podcast, and I'm like, this son of a bitch. All right, here we go. Hold on. 619, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
What's up?
Good.
Doing good, man.
Yeah, so I actually kind of had this sort of talk with like a few of my friends, which we had quite a long discussion about, and I'm just curious to know this answer from all three of you, actually. So, excluding English, hypothetically, if you could speak 5 languages fluently, which would you pick?
Well, that's an interesting question. I like that.
Bye.
All right, Greg, what would you, if you could speak even English, Greg, what else would you speak?
As you heard on the show, I was barely struggling with that. Let's see. I think, Australian is a beautiful language. I'm just kidding.
No comment.
I'm just kidding. Let's see. If I can speak 5 languages, that's a lot. That's a lot of languages I can speak all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm going Japanese, number 1.
Oh, yes,
Japanese.
yes.
I gotta go to Japan. I'm gonna be so cool over there and be like, yes. Number two, what else do I want to speak? I'm going Chinese. I feel like I gotta know that too. A lot of business opportunities in China. I'm going Japanese. I'm going Chinese.
Okay, now first of all, there are multiple dialects of Chinese, like Mandarin, and I mean, there's like a billion.
I'm going main one.
Right? Main
I'm
one.
going Mandarin. All the other, all the other ones. No bueno. I'm on 3, right? No, on 2. Japanese and Chinese. All right. It's a tough one. Let's see. It's gonna take all day. I should just throw some out there.
You probably should.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going Russian. I'm gonna speak Russian. Then let's see. I'll go Russian. I feel like Spanish would be good. And you know what? Yes, I'm going Tagalog. I'm gonna speak.
Nice. There you go.
I'm gonna get all the good. Oh, you know what? I want to learn Korean too. You know what? 5 isn't enough.
All of a sudden. All right, now shut up, Greg. Now, Viper, I think 5 is too many. I think 3 makes it more interesting. You have to think about it, or even 2 make it more. But that's okay. What 5 would you want there, Vipe?
Ooh, so I got a Spanish, I got Mandarin, I got Italian, I got Arabic, and I'm trying to figure out a 5th one here.
Ooh, very nice.
Actually, you know what? Let's make the 5th one French.
That's literally one of mine. So mine is French, Japanese, one of the dialects of Chinese, Italian, because that's interesting. And then I don't think I want to learn German, but Tagalog is interesting as well. Swedish might be interesting. I have some Swedish friends, so Swedish, why not? Or no. I want Indian because which is I know there's a bunch of dialects in India as well. But just because I have a lot of Indian like fans and stuff, so I would love to be able to talk to them.
All your Indian fans can speak English, so
not all. Well, I guess all of them can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think after English, the second most spoken language of my audience is Hindu. So yeah.
Oh, actually, Nicholas is right. Samoan. I would love to. I love this be able to speak Samoan. That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Just look at I got to go look at my top country analytics and see.
Exactly. Just those. The ones that are in my analytics. Those are the ones I want to do.
It was actually interesting because like almost everyone I asked this question said Japanese. So Japanese was one of the most popular answers in there. So.
I think I was the only one who said it here. So
no, I said it too.
Okay. 619. What's yours? Let's hear you.
Actually, mine is almost similar as yours, Greg. Japanese was one of them too. Also Arabic, Spanish, Russian. As for the fifth language, this is a bit vague, but I really want like an African language. I know there's many out there, but I just don't know which one is like the more common in like multiple countries. I know Arabic is common in like the northern African countries like Egypt, Libya, Algeria, but like another like African language, whichever one is like spoken in multiple African countries, that's one I would like to go with.
That's dope.
Oh,
I love it.
I would also like to speak Vegeta because Vegeta's awesome.
All right, cool. Thanks for that 619. We'll see you next week, buddy, as we always do.
Yes.
Sure. Take care, guys.
Take care. I was going to give 619 grief, but I felt bad because I've been giving him so much grief on the podcast every time he comes in. I was going to answer Australian, Canadian, Irish, just speaking countries, but
that's so crazy.
Wait, am I the only person who said Spanish?
No, I did.
I almost did, but I didn't. Yeah.
I picked all the languages I usually encounter.
Very nice. All right. Well, that'll have to do it for today. I have other things I need to go do. Definitely thank you guys for joining us on the live stream. We greatly appreciate you. And we will definitely see all of y'all faces next week.
Yes.
So go check out Viper and we'll see you again next week.
You know where to find me.
So come back for more.
Peace and love.